Diversity, equity, and inclusion. You hear it. But we want to talk about the economic impact for your business and why the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the place to begin that conversation. We are talking about a strategic engagement that aligns with your strategy, and we've put together white papers, we've written op-eds, because it's important for you to understand that it cannot be just window dressing. And as we looked across Houston, we know for a fact that if you look at every major corporation in this city, if there is one Hispanic executive, that's probably it. We're still looking for those companies that maybe have 2 people. And what we're trying to say is that this is an opportunity for you to lead. And it's going to impact your bottom line. So this is from McKinsey & Company. They're one of our many partners. We have researchers, we have universities such as Stanford, Harvard University, and others who are partnering with us on data. It impacts your bottom line. Take a look at this from McKinsey & Company. So diversity leaders are pulling ahead and reaping the benefits. If you'll do it for your bottom line, that's okay. We just want you to do it because it's good for your company. And we're showing that if you have someone on your executive team, that you are likely going to outperform others at least by 10%. And then the diversity that you may have, again, will lead you to performance, better performance, and better revenues. And if the person happens to be a woman, again, the research shows performance and revenue increase. But here's the good news. So more Fortune 100 companies have at least one Latino on their board. That's great. But sadly, across the board, just in Houston, less than 2% of all corporate boards, less than 2% have a Hispanic on their corporate board. Even though your performance and your revenue can increase, even though we make up more than 42% of the population, even though data demonstrates that our consumer spending just in Houston by Hispanics is over $24 billion with a B. So we do have some good news. We do know that Hispanic businesses, 34% of them, that's where it's coming from. Women-owned Hispanic business, the fastest growing of them all. 61% of Hispanics are 35 or younger. In Houston, 70% of all Hispanics are between 18 and 44 years old. 60% of the population in Houston that is Anglo are over 60. Think about those numbers and what it means for your business, what it means for the economy, and what it means in terms of you getting either started or looking at what you're already doing and where you can start. If we want Houston to bring the World Cup here and all of these other sports activities and international conferences and international travel, it's going to be because we are the champions of diversity. It's not window dressing. And you might say, well, I don't know where to start. Well, I can tell you in this room, if you're interested in oil and gas experts, we have them. Entrepreneurs who had startup businesses that can share their stories and that market and the consumers, we have them. Young leaders, we have them. We have built an emerging leaders program that is the pipeline for youth. And when I say youth, I mean less than 10 years of work experience. 2 of them in this room. One of them is the #2 guy at the City of Houston who manages our budget. The other's a stellar engineer who's with us today. And we have 300 more of those. And it's because you have invested in this chamber. We're about business, we are about the economy, we are about helping you reach your goals and objectives. And we do it every day. But for this chamber to remain viable and even more impactful, we need leaders such as you to understand that we're not just Hispanic. And so we're going to continue to partner with the best. We're going to continue to identify CEOs to serve on our board, as we have. And we didn't just 2 years ago decide diversity was important to us. Over the last 10 years, 40% of our board was non-Hispanic. This is not new to us. And we're asking you to invest in this chamber so we can continue to be strong and do business and help you with what you're trying to do. And as we say, as Hispanics go, so goes Houston. We are that voice for business. We're right here every day.
I can remember the formation of this chamber. I can remember the rough waters. I can see the progress that has just been outstanding. And for your leadership and what you're doing with 3 people, for this great city, state, and nation that we love, you deserve the loudest round of applause.